Okay mga mi, alam mo yung feeling na ang saya dapat na fairy tale, pero may vibe na, wait lang, bakit parang may malalim na hugot to? Ganon guys, exactly ang Peter Pan. Yes, cute siya, magical, may pixie dust, may pirates, may flying kids. Pero behind all that sparkles, girl, this story is dripping with trauma, loss, at complex relationships. So, for today's video guys, pumwesto na kayo dyan, samahan nyo ako kasi lilipad tayo sa real Neverland, not the Disney one ha. Yung totoong Neverland na gawa sa pain, grief, at childhood na hindi talaga natapos. Okay, quick note lang mga Mino. If napansin nyo, normally, I record story times on a desk mic, yung pang podcast mic ko. But for today's video, guys, I'm going wireless and I'm testing the Hollyland Lark A1. So if the audio sounds great, alam niyo na what I'm using. Alright, going back. We all know Peter Pan as the boy who wouldn't grow up. Pero ang tanong natin, bakit nga ba? Kasi guys, yung author na si J.M. Barrie was literally running away from adulthood his whole life. And guess what? Peter Pan wasn't just a fictional character. Inspired siya guys by real kids na natsugi na maaga or lumaking may mabibigat na dala. Oh, may mga hugot sa life, ganun. Mga baggage sila. So, yung Lost Boys, guys, totoo sila. Yung Neverland, may tunay din na pinanggalingan yun. And yung Never Grow Up na theme, mas dark yun kaysa sa iniisip mo. Okay, mga mi. So, bago tayo pumunta sa Neverland, kailangan muna natin kilalanin yung taong gumawa nito. Kasi once na malaman niya na yung backstory, dun na magme-make sense lahat. So, si James Matthew Barrie or J.M. Barrie, isa siyang Scottish writer na maliit ang height. Mahinhin siya magsalita, super introverted, pero emotionally complicated. As in kung may soft boy with trauma arc noon, siya yun. Pero ang tanong natin, bakit siya ganun? Now, when Barrie was 6 years old, yung kuya niya na si David natsugi in an ice skating accident. So, si David was around 13 years old. And si mother nila guys, girl, she fell into deep depression. Yung tipong wala talagang emotional presence. So, according sa biographical accounts from Andrew Birkin and Lisa Cheney, ang lagi daw sinasabi ni mother was, sabi niya, at least David will remain a boy forever. Sad, no? So imagine, no, hearing that as a child, a 6-year-old, trying to understand kung bakit mas mahal ng nanay niya yung kuya niya na wala na kaysa sa kanya na nandyan pa. Now, Barrie tried to make his mom happy. Minsan daw, ginagaya niya si David, yung kuya niya na si David, to get her attention. Diba? Nakaka-heartbreak. Now, psychologists today would say na Barrie daw developed arrested development. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Meaning, guys, yung emotional self mo, naiwan sa younger self mo na may trauma. Kumbaga na adult ka na, pero yung puso mo, na-stuck ka pa din doon sa damaged child version mo. And yes, guys, this became the emotional foundation of Peter Pan. Okay, ngayon naman guys, let's talk about the real kids na nag-inspire kay Peter Pan. Kasi sila talaga yung puso ng story. Barrie guys became extremely close to this family. Yung mag-asawa na si Sylvia and Arthur Llewellyn Davis at yung 5 anak nila na si George, Jack, Peter, Michael, and Nico. Yes guys, that Peter. Yung name na Peter Pan guys literally came from Peter Llewellyn Davis. Okay, so now, si Barrie guys would play with the boys every day. So, gumagawa sila ng mga imaginary adventures, sword fights, mystical islands. Parang siya yung naging third parent and sometimes even second kasi nga laging busy si Arthur sa trabaho. So after matsugi guys nung both parents na si Sylvia and Arthur magkaibang years si Barrie guys ang naging isa sa guardians nung 5 bagets and confirmed to guys through legal documents and family letters. So ito na yung masakit na part guys. Kasi si George, natsugi siya guys nung World War I noong 1915 at just 21 years old. Si Michael naman, nalunod siya noong 1921. So, according sa coroner, accidental drowning siya. Si Peter naman, battled severe depression for years. Natsugi siya by died in 1960. And sa totoo lang, mga mi, maraming historians ang nagsasabi na kahit close sila kay Barrie, the Peter Pan shadow followed them. Especially si Peter nga, di ba? Na ayaw niyang tinatawag siyang the real Peter Pan. And that's the tragic irony of it all, guys. Kasi, you know, the story of a boy who never grows up, inspired by boys whose lives ended too soon. Okay mga mi, quick pause lang muna tayo dito kasi bago tayo lumalim sa symbolism at meaning ng Peter Pan, kailangan ko munang i-acknowledge yung elephant in the room. Ano ba yun? So let's be real guys, no? Kapag narinig mo na may isang adult man na sobrang close sa group of young boys, especially by today's standards, natural lang na may magtataas ng kilay, di ba? Even back then, may mga tao talagang nagtatanong, was it unusual? Yes. Did it make people uncomfortable? Also yes. Pero here's the important part. During Barrie's lifetime, guys, and even long after his death, these questions kept coming up, especially as society became more aware of boundaries, trauma, and child protection. And that's totally valid. Pero guys, instead of jumping to conclusions, historians and biographers decided to do the responsible thing. Nagkalkal sila sa mga letters, diaries, testimonies, and legal documents. And we will unpack what they actually found later, properly, carefully, and without sensationalism. Pero for now, guys, just remember this na si Barrie, guys, lived a life that looked strange on the surface, and yung strangeness na yon is part of why Peter Pan feels so emotionally complicated. So, hold that thought, babalikan natin to. Okay guys, rewind tayo sandali. Para maintindihan nyo talaga yung dark side ng Peter Pan, kailangan natin balikan kung paano at saan nagsimula yung character mismo. So ayan no, si J.M. Barrie, guys, hindi siya bigla-biglang nagising one day tapos nag-decide na, today gagawa ako ng batang marunong lumipad. No guys, may journey yan. Okay, umpisahan natin sa The Little White Bird noong 1902. Ito yung first ever appearance ni Peter Pan guys, pero FYI, The Little White Bird wasn't meant for kids. Sabi nga ng mga literary historians like si Andrew Birkin and Peter Hollindale, itong version daw na to ni Peter Pan is lonely, eerie, and very different from Disney's Sparkly Boy. Next is yung stage play noong 1904. Peter Pan, the Boy Who Wouldn't Grow Up, premiered sa Duke of York's Theater on December 27, 1904. So yung critics like R.D.S. Jack point out na si Barrie daw kept changing the script for years kasi obsessed daw siya sa idea of childhood freedom. And next is the novel Peter and Wendy noong 1911. So guys, ito na yung version na ginagamit ng most modern adaptations, and according to scholars like Maria Tatar, the novel daw mixes childlike wonder with constant reminders of danger, death, and growing up. Ito guys chika ko lang, si Barrie daw hindi talaga makalet go ng story na to. Sabi nga ng mga biographers, he kept revising parts of the play till almost end of his life. Parang daw, Neverland was his emotional comfort blanket. Now, ito na yung pinaka-favorite ko guys, yung symbolism. Kasi dito na natin makikita yung totoong psyche ni Barrie. Okay, first is childhood versus death. So according to renowned Peter Pan scholar na si Peter Hollindale, yung theme of death is baked into Peter's character. So, fun fact guys, yung line na to die will be an awfully big adventure, hindi siya ginawa para maging edgy. It reflects daw Barrie's childhood trauma and grief as noted by biographer Andrew Birkin. So, in other words guys, para daw kay Barrie, childhood is equal to safety. Yung adulthood is equivalent to danger. Kaya si Peter stuck siya. Next is motherhood and abandonment. Scholars like Jacqueline Rose explain na si Wendy is basically Barrie's fantasy of the perfect mother. Yung warm, loving, consistent, something his own childhood lacked. And guys, na-notice nyo diba, Neverland is full of motherless boys. Kasi guys diba, si Barrie grew up emotionally abandoned by a grieving mother. Diba? Third is Captain Hook is equal to the fear of time. Ito guys, literary critics interpret Hook as the physical embodiment of time chasing you. Yung ticking crocodile, according kay Maria Tatar guys, symbol daw siya ng the inevitability of adulthood. So in other words, tumatanda ka whether gusto mo or hindi. Last but not the least, Lost Boys is equal to the Llewellyn Davis brothers. So ayon kay Andrew Birkin, one of the most respected Barrie biographers, yung Lost Boys daw guys were heavily inspired by the Llewellyn Davis siblings. Not just kasi malapit sila kay Barrie, but because the boys constantly struggled with loss, instability, and growing up too fast. Okay, may ito na. Ito na yung part na usually ginagawang clickbait online. Pero kahit manitis ang atake natin dito, stick tayo sa facts. Okay, let's start with Barrie and the Llewellyn Davis boys. Ano ba talaga yung sinasabi ng mga scholars about them? So, let's address it clearly. Yes guys, Barrie was emotionally close dun sa mga bagets. Yes, that closeness was intense. And yes, by modern standards, it would raise serious questions. But according to modern biographers and scholars who reviewed private letters, personal diaries, family testimonies, and legal records, there is no documented evidence of SA or predatory behavior. What they do describe, guys, is a man who was emotionally stunted by childhood trauma, deeply lonely, and more comfortable in the emotional world of children than adults. So, some scholars suggest guys na si Barrie daw may have been asexual or uninterested in adult relationships. But important note ha, interpretation lang to, not confirmed diagnosis or fact. So ano guys yung marites? He crossed emotional lines, yes. But evidence-based research does not support criminal accusations. Okay, next is colonial and racial issues in Peter Pan. Okay, now let's talk about another uncomfortable truth. Yung early versions of Peter Pan guys include depictions of natives in Neverland, diba? Particularly yung storyline ni Tiger Lily. And that guys reflect Edwardian colonial stereotypes. So these portrayals guys were common during nung time ni Barrie. But problematic siya by today's standards. And that's why merong modern stage productions, may book revisions at film adaptations. Either ni-rewrite, ni-remove, or ni-reimagine yung elements na to completely. This doesn't mean na the story should be cancelled guys ha. It means na we acknowledge its flaws while understanding the historical context. Alright guys, in 1929, si Barrie, dinonate niya lahat ng rights ng Peter Pan to Great Ormond Street Hospital. Bongga, diba? So according to Gush official documentation, this became one of the hospital's biggest long-term sources of support. Grabe. Then in 1988, the UK passed a special provision in the Copyright, Designs and Patents Act, giving the hospital perpetual royalty rights for performances and publications in the UK. Meaning, hindi mag-expire yung royalty cut nila ever. As in for life na yun guys. Pero, scholarly clarification from copyright experts says na this covers royalties only, hindi daw creative control. Pero outside sa UK, copyright daw depends on each other's laws. So, the 1911 novel is now public domain in many places. Pero, yung royalties ng play still apply in the UK. Ayan, and finally, let's land this plane sa pinakahugot ng lahat. Ano ba talaga ang Neverland? At bakit ba siya hindi ma-let go? Okay, so according to literary scholars like Maria Tatar and Peter Hollindale, Neverland daw is basically Barrie's grief, his longing for childhood, his fear of time, and his attempt to freeze everything he ever loved. Yung Neverland guys isn't paradise. Emotional refuge siya, a coping mechanism. And the saddest part, the story about never growing up was inspired by real boys who never got the chance to. So guys, what's the moralization for today's story? Ang takeaway ko dito is this. Peter Pan isn't really about refusing to grow up. It's about bakit ayaw nating mag-grow up in the first place. Kasi let's be honest, no, ang dami sa atin ngayon pagod na. Pagod sa responsibilities, pagod sa expectations, pagod sa pagiging strong kahit ayaw na natin. Alam niyo yun? So, we escape sa nostalgia, sa comfort zones, sa mas okay ako nun mindset, sa fantasy na sana pwede munang mag-pause ang buhay. And honestly, yung kwento ni Peter Pan reminds us na hindi mo pwedeng tambayan ang escape forever. Hindi ka pwede mag-dwell doon forever, di ba? Kasi habang tumatakas ka sa pag-grow up, dala mo pa rin yung pain na hindi mo hinaharap or yung trauma na hindi mo hinaharap. Wala namang masama guys no sa pag-heal ng inner child mo. Walang masama sa pag-enjoy ng simple joys. Pero kapag ginamit mo yun para iwasan yung healing, doon na yun, mag-iiba na yung kwento doon. Delikado na siya. But the real lesson here is this. Growing up doesn't mean you lose who you were. It means you finally give yourself the chance to heal para hindi ka ma-stuck sa version mo na unhealed or traumatized ganun. You can grow up and still keep your softness. You can mature and still love magic. You can move forward without abandoning who you used to be. And guys, that's the real Neverland. Not a place where time stops, but a place where you finally make peace with it. So ayan guys, after hearing the real story behind Peter Pan, the trauma, the real lost boys, at yung emotional baggage ni Barrie. Kaya guys, anong take nyo? Do you think Neverland was meant to be a magical escape o emotional coping mechanism ng isang taong takot sa pag-adulting? I'm honestly curious kung paano nyo siya in-interpret now na alam nyo na yung totoong pinanggalingan. Drop your thoughts in the comments at if may baka pang story suggestions, crime, mystery o kahit historical scandal, comment mo or i-DM mo lang sa akin. Malay mo, yan na yung next dark chika natin. Real stories, twisted endings, dark chika. This is sa Likod ng Kwento with me, Apple Sison, and as always, don't forget to like, follow, share, and save. And I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay curious. Bye!